The city of Bovidae has clearly spread its wings, but its ability to fly independently is that of a turkey. The city just isn't going anywhere, and many economic senators of the town hall agree that while using tourism can help the city grow and keep itself in the green, it will eventually overshadow everything the city was built off of, its industry. So just last week, the mayor had a meeting with the chief of economic analysis to discuss the current forecast for Bovidae's situation. It wasn't looking good. It was clear that if Bovidae kept working with tourism, it wouldn't put them in the right position to continue expansion without taking out a loan, or worse, advertising the city. With increasing demand for more housing and jobs, this gives our mayor the perfect excuse to develop some of our nearby greenfield sites into a small but soon-to-be bustling downtown with the capacity to house the next generation of civilians. And if you are just as excited as I am to construct this downtown, then make sure to leave a like and comment down below what you loved or hated most about this building. And if you'd like to follow along with me as I build this thing, then feel free to download the map Elmore on Paradox Mods, a Midwestern-inspired map created by LibGrid, which I will have linked down in the description below. Also, feel free to join my Discord. I'm looking to build a community with you guys, and I'm sure you'd love to be a part of it. So make sure to join so you never miss a beat. Alright, enough yapping, let's get to building.
Okay, you guys, so welcome back to the city of Bovidae. Today we have quite a lot on our plate, but before we do literally anything, I want to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row and we can actually get some progress done. You see, if we were to build the downtown right now, traffic would get astronomically backed up. This is due to the fact that there is a giant industrial area over here, there's apartments over here, and there's already a draw-in for tourism if we look in our taxes and see that we are making a lot of money off of tourism, which of course is not ideal considering the fact that Bovidae's goal is to have a surplus in everything. One thing we can't get right now is fish. I don't necessarily know why, but what are you gonna do? However, because of the fact that we have such a high demand for industry and low density residential, medium and high density residential as well, I kind of want to try and spread everything out. Another thing that I wanted to make sure that we're doing is I want to make sure that we're fixing our fire issues, our education issues, and our death issues. As you can see, we have quite the amount of hearses, and so far 3 buildings have burnt down, and they have been like this as an empty plot of rubble. And if we look at our land value, it definitely can start to impact it. I mean, I don't want to look at a collapsed building. So what we're gonna do, ensure that we provide as much as we can for these people. I want to make sure that we can provide as much service as we can for everybody. And this includes post offices, everything else. I don't want to place down and zone in a single building until we have these services in place, because right now it is an absolute mess. So we're going to go ahead and zone in some areas, or not zone in, but build areas where we can get these services. Now, of course, I want to start out with the fire station, and we do have a couple of options. One is the Eastern European firehouse, and this is one that I actually looked at as a potential town hall. So I think we might want to go with, this is the exact same price as the Southwest firehouse, and it looks really, really cool. So I actually definitely want to put this here. Now, of course, where to put it is definitely a bit of a debate, but that's okay. We can totally figure that out pretty quickly. I actually kind of want to put it right here, and then we can connect it in like that. But I think, yeah, I think we're gonna definitely place it down right here. And if we move it in the future, if we decide to move it in the future, that's okay too. But this, actually, let's place it right here. Yeah, I think that this is nice. It's near some row homes, and it's also near the main arterial, so we wouldn't have as much of a struggle. And something I'm noticing here is there's also seems to be sort of an access road. Yeah, if we look at this, there is, oh, wouldn't you know it, a fire truck has been dispatched. But anyways, if we look at this right now, we can see that this looks like an area where fire trucks can come out, and I feel like that the fire department would probably propose a road that would go into here. This would cut down response times by quite a considerable amount if fire trucks can also take this road as a potential route as well. This won't necessarily be anywhere where cars should be able to enter. And actually, matter of fact, I definitely want to make this a one-way. And then maybe we could put a cul-de-sac bulb right here. And that actually looks pretty good. It also formulates to the rest of the area as well, and it would give the fire trucks a larger turning radius. I definitely want to move this node over a little bit, just like that. And that looks pretty good to me. I definitely like this. And now cars won't enter in through here, but fire trucks can exit through here. And that's definitely good because that could cut down a lot of response times for this area of the community. And then fire trucks that are responding to here, they could take this route, which I think is definitely really cool. Now, with that public service area out of the way, let's take care of our death care. Now, I definitely want a cemetery, obviously. That is super duper important for any community, is a cemetery. Now, this one actually increases well-being by 3 within 300 meters, but this one is a lot cheaper. It has about half the size hearses, and it has a smaller upkeep. I feel like we should definitely have this one, just so we can save a pretty penny, and I want to put it here because this is near a lot of higher density areas, and it's also near the community a little bit. Actually, yeah, let's put it here. And the biggest reason for this is because I want to basically have it, let's go 3 units out, and a big reason why I want to have it here is I kind of want to have like a park, sort of natural reservation area along this coastline here, because we already have beaches. I think that would be really nice, and I think it would be really pretty. So let's put that in there, and let's just create a really basic connection. I think we're going to have it connect into here as well, and then maybe some parking along here. Who really knows? I'm not really going to fiddle with this area right now. I just kind of want the hearses to work, and I don't really want them to do much else. We can go into detail later if we need, but I don't really think we're going to need parking for this, considering that only 10 people work here, and they could totally walk. So now with these set up, I think we're going to demolish these homes, let them rebuild, and then, yeah, look at that. It looks like that they've gotten that situated. A lot of our buildings are leveling up, which is absolutely beautiful to see. And now, this is going to be the fun part, fixing our deficits. We are in quite the deficit for a lot of things. We are in a deficit for coal, ore, grains and chickens. I'm just going to call them chickens. I guess we'll call them livestock. That's fine. And let's see what else we're in a deficit for. Not textiles. We're good with that. Not vegetables. We're fine with that. Metal. We are in a deficit. Crude oil. We're in a deficit. Coal, stone, grain, livestock, and wood. We are in a deficit for. Now these are pretty manageable, and I definitely want to place down some area where we could totally get in some rural land areas. Especially livestock and grain, which we're in a massive deficit for. So I want to do this, and for the first time in the series, we are going to purchase our first map tile. Now I want to try and find out where exactly the most fertile land is in our city. So let's go ahead and let's buy these tiles right here. Man, I am nervous, but things have to be done in order for progress. Boom. All right, and immediately we're taking the brunt of that. Actually, fun fact, we're actually not really taking that much. We only have around 97,000 for tile upkeep. It said that it was going to be 194,000, but I guess maybe that's once we zone in things, it will get affected. And this is a highway, which is perfect, which is absolutely stunning and beautiful. And we are near a beautiful river area, and I definitely want to try and conform to this. So if we look at our terraforming, looks like we have a little bit of work to do, but that's not that bad. Especially with farmland. Farmland is pretty easy to zone in as long as you just kind of know what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to look at where our fertile land is in this area, and it looks like it's pretty localized within here. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and I want to smooth in everywhere around here. Alright, this seems a lot flatter than it originally was, and we're going to create a nice access road that's going to lead into it, and it's literally just going to come right off of here. And then we're going to kind of try to follow this contour line. I think that'd be really nice. There we go, that looks all right. And now we are in a surplus for everything, which is absolutely fan-flippin-tastic. We are in a pretty massive surplus for everything now. And that surplus just keeps going up, which is absolutely phenomenal to see that in our community. Now, something else that I definitely want to do is along here, along Cherry Lane, I want to have some kind of factory along here. Now, of course, we don't really have any sort of signature buildings, and these are if we get agricultural area hubs, we have 6 right now. We need 4 more in order to fill it out. So I actually want to unlock the industrial signature buildings. And a way that we can do this is, of course, just by spam zoning a bunch of agricultural areas. So I want to do that, and we're going to just go ahead, flatten out these areas. So let's just throw in a textile farm right here. And now we have a dairy house. Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted from this development. I want to unlock the dairy house. And I think we're going to put it just right here. This is perfect. It gives us 2% industrial efficiency and 2% export profits, which is perfect for us. And it's a nice big old building right here. Let's go ahead, let's place that down, and then let's add in, I feel like, how many people could potentially work here? 85 people, yeah. We're definitely going to need more parking than what's available right here. So let's just place down a perpendicular parking alleyway. I think that is pretty good. Pretty good to place down. Perfect. And now another area that I want to develop here is sort of like a storage area for, you know, extra access for these buildings. And I kind of want to wrap this around here, and then it'll come back into the parking lot like that. Let's just adjust this node so then it's nice and straight like that. Yeah, perfect. Now this area could be like a generic industrial area, but this is definitely where I want to have some major storage facilities along here. So let's go ahead, let's look at find it, and let's just look at a warehouse. And it's these buildings that I want. These look absolutely phenomenal. They're great. I love them so much. We can even get some smaller ones in here too. I like the idea of that. For employment, for potential employment, which is really good. And if we look at our production, all we need is wood and all these other things as well. But we also have ore and coal that we are in a massive deficit for. So if we take a look at the rest of our area, looks like we have some pretty good opportunities, and the wind blows this way. So I definitely want to get ore along, I'd say here, because then the wind would blow and it'd blow that way, and it'd be less of a burden on us. And there's a lot of ore. Wow, there is 10,000 potential areas for ore, which is massive, which is absolutely insane. So we should definitely place down ore along here. I kind of want a separate access road for this, and then it'll lead into what will be a small extraction point. Now I want to try to get a small grid established, around 104 meters by 80 should do. Only reason is because I want just a basic industrial area, one that can move away from our community here. Let's just go ahead, let's just flatten out the land here. I want to Control H this. There we go, so it's all on one point now. And that is perfect. So let's go ahead and zone these areas up, just like so. It's pretty cool. And then let's go ahead and get our stone mining area up and running. Sweet, awesome. So now with this settled, I think it's time to try and de-industrialize this area. And it's definitely gonna be challenging. It's gonna be a challenging one. I wanna see how many employees we actually have in this area. And it looks like we have 1,500 employees, so that is most of our thing. That is most of our population. So we definitely want to try and move these people away, because what's going to happen is everyone's commuting to here. That's a bit of a problem. Like, I'd rather everybody commute to here and then come back, because then at least I can have public transportation that connect the two. But right now we can't do that. We don't have it unlocked, or we do have it unlocked. It's just we don't have the funds to actually zone areas like that in. So a district, Barlow Glen, yeah, 677 people, and now everybody's working here, which means that we're making way more, and we are in a massive surplus. I knew that was going to happen, and I'm super happy that it did happen, and it did end up working out pretty well, which is super nice. I really, really like that. So now with everybody just working here, I think we should definitely have an access road here. Oh my goodness, that is evil. Yeah, we're definitely, I think that's just because, yeah, everybody's storing coal and stone in these areas, which is super cool. So now our unemployment is sitting around 6%, hovering around there, which is super cool. And we are in a surplus for everything that we can potentially extract in this episode at least. I think we could probably squeeze in a metal ore area, but I don't really want to push it, at least right now. Yeah, wow, this is really, really good. I'm really happy with how this came out. So let's go ahead and let's move away from Barlow Glen, and let's start working on the big project here, which of course is getting people to move in. And this, I definitely want to have a pretty unique approach to this. I want to remove our current road layout. I don't think it's good, I don't think it's unique, and I don't think that it serves a massive, area. So I want to remove a lot of this. And a part of me wants to kind of zone in low density residential along here, and then it'll kind of jolt up like this. The skyline's gonna kind of be looking like a bit of a T. And of course we definitely have to redo this because there is not really an established grid. I don't want to fuss with this. I remember this road off camera took me forever to build and construct, so I do not want to mess with that at all, if possible, ever. So we're gonna leave that alone. This area could totally be sort of a park area. I could definitely see it now because we have this radio mast, so I could totally see this being sort of an area where we can have office buildings and a lot of other things of that nature. But let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna extend this road out pretty much as far as we possibly can go. And it looks like it's already broken. That is perfect. We have now fixed it. Awesome, beautiful. And I want to rebuild this road. Just have it go straight across. And then we're gonna make it so that this cannot be zonable. This side cannot zone in. There we go, and that has now fixed our grid, which is good. Good to know. And let's connect up this 4-lane road over to here as well. There we go. That's nice. That's beautiful. But actually, because this was, what is it? How long did I say I made this? 320, yeah. So let's send this out 320 meters. As virtually close as I can to this. Just so then we have the same lot sizes. And then, yeah, see, that looks a lot prettier. And then I'm basically gonna put a little stub right here just so I know that this is 320. And then we're just gonna send this out, and then this will be sort of like just a little mess around area. Maybe we could put some parks down or whatever. You know, whatever will make the community pretty. Actually, we're not even gonna zone anything right there. Doesn't matter. We don't need it. That's what I say. Now, this is our main arterial right here. It goes into this, which is our collector road, and then we need to go into our local roads. So I want to establish a nice, pretty decent suburban grid, and we're going to use, let's see here, 120 by 120, maybe that could work. Nah, it doesn't, because we don't fill in that whole gap. I think instead, I think we should probably use the same grid that we use over here. And let's see how big this is. It's 88 by 56. I like that. I like that. So let's send this out, send this road out, and we're going to just connect it up into there. And then this is where we're going to start it. I'm going to push this lot 4 units back, and then this is where we're going to zone in our low density. And we're doing 88 by 56, I'm pretty sure. We'll come back to this grid pattern here, because of course this is where this is where our town hall is going to be, so I don't think we should fiddle with that. But now we could probably go ahead and zone this in and just see where we're at. So let's go ahead, and I want to try and tank the taxes down on a lot of things. I know that's a bit risky, but commercial needs to get boosted by some level in order for us to actually be able to. Oh my goodness! Wow, we're making zero. We're making 0 coin. That's absolutely hilarious. But anyways, I want to try and get a nice even mixture of certain buildings here. Now, of course, we got to do the big man over here, and this is going to be our low density homes, and we're gonna just kind of zone them in like this. And I want to, of course, have them be away from our collectors here, so that people don't have to drive on this road in order to get onto any sort of main area. And then around here, this is where we're gonna have our waterfront homes. These are gonna be some big homes. We're gonna do, was it 5 by 5 lots along here. These are gonna be like executive homes. You know, real estate owners absolutely fall in love with this area because they are just absolutely beautiful. Right near the shoreline, it'll be near a park. People love these areas. In real life too. It's not that uncommon, and we're actually gonna do a little bit of plopping. We're gonna get some waterfront homes in here that are nice and big for us. As large as they can go, really. Oh yeah, that is perfect actually. I'm very happy about that. Super duper happy about that. I just want to make sure that they don't get de-zoned again in the future. And now we have ourselves some nice waterfront homes, and I'm going to continue this just down. I think we could probably get a different style here. Let's see. Outstanding and absolutely beautiful. I love that. You would place one down right there as well. That is awesome. And now all that I really need to do here is just kind of sit here, wait, and just kind of chill out for a fat minute while we wait for all of our buildings to zone in. So I'll be back, and you guys can watch a nice, fun little time lapse of this building. Really zone anything here until this ground pollution goes down. Even this guy's complaining about it. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it here, and we're just gonna let it. Oh, look at that! We've unlocked Boomtown, which is pretty cool. However, you know, I want to try and figure out this zoning later, because right now our unemployment's around 22%, and I want to try and get it down to around 11%. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna extend this road out, and we're also gonna urbanize it just a little bit. Also urbanize this road, make it asymmetrical like that. And now I want to go in and just kind of extend this out just a little bit with some industry. This should knock down our employment by quite a considerable amount. Yeah, no, it's creeping down, which is good. Good deal. Our next section is over here, this little area, this little pocket. And this pocket is very important to me. This is where a lot of our row homes are gonna go. a lot of our row homes, and it'll be the transition between suburban living and urban living. And we're just gonna literally create a very simple shore road that'll run down into here, like so. Which I think is pretty good. And then we're gonna over-engineer this a little bit. I'm gonna send in a road that'll go into there. Is it necessary? Not really, but I don't really want this area to get backed up in case if it ever does. Or at least not backed up as bad as it would be if I didn't add that in. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna try to do a similar scheme that we did here, where we run this out 216 meters, and then, let's see, we extended this out by as much as we could go. So I want to do the same here as well. And then the same sitch for here as well. Go ahead and connect it in so that's nice and even. And then let's extend this out like here. There we go. Looks all right to me. And now let's go in and zone our row homes. And I'm looking for, of course, a more urban-esque feeling to this whole thing. So I'm actually gonna de-zone that. And then we're gonna create a pretty simple block here. And I wanna try and send this out 120 by, let's see, 120. Now we could do 120 by like 144. That works a little bit better. Then we can split these up with these little roads here. And then we're just gonna rinse and repeat it for this whole area. I have, of course, a smaller block here because we can't fit anymore. Yeah, so something like that looks pretty good. Then we're going to have some smaller blocks here, which will be some more low-density housing. These will be more densified waterfront homes, aka more luxurious waterfront homes. And then we're basically just gonna fill in these areas with waterfront properties. These should all fill in since there's such a high demand for like everything. Yeah, look at that, that fills in super fast. And then these will be our select homes. These ones will be a little bit smaller, more compact. Looks like that's the size we're working with. Alright, that is fine, I guess. And then let's go and zone in, I like the idea of some southwest row homes on this. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that. And then these ones are just going to be our standard row homes. So let's go and zone those in as well. Now these ones, I do not want them to zone in there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my little method of splitting them up like that. That should give a lot more of an organic feel instead of a manufactured feel, which is super nice. Really good. I think we could totally zone in some more office areas. I definitely want this to be more of an office zoned area. Since the town hall's here, I want like administrative type of buildings, you know, areas like that. That overall just kind of makes sense, at least to me. I like the way that these zoned in as well. I'm going to try and play whack-a-mole and try and get some better looking buildings here. And honestly, I think we could probably just go in with the vanilla homes, and then we could just remove those that way. And I think that's a pretty efficient way to go about it. Because while these homes look good, these ones are just not fitting the suburban feel that I want to go for the outskirts. And I really want to try and encapsulate that here, so I think we're just going to go in with the vanilla homes and just fill those cracks in of where they would have zoned with ones that actually kind of make sense given the area. Oh, there we go. Looks like they're zoning in now, which is good. Good to see it. I love to see it. Alright, and we can squeeze in some more row homes along here, along the back. And we've unlocked Balter Pines, which is pretty cool. I like the idea of putting it here. I think we should probably put it around here. It'll increase the well-being of this community as well, which is super nice. Now I also want to go in and add in a post office as well. So let's add that in. And I really like the Japanese post office. I think it looks beautiful. So let's go ahead and place that in. And I think we're just going to place it here. And then we're going to add in mailbox services along this whole area here. Actually, oh, wait a minute. Did we already place that? No, we didn't. I don't know why I said that. We did not. Yeah, I don't think we really need that much capacity, so instead I think we're just going to have a small post office instead, and we're just going to upgrade it so we have some more cars. I think that makes a little bit more sense, at least to me. Just make sure that everything is nice and connected up. Including this. As well, including the industrial area. Oh yeah, traffic's getting backed up because everybody wants to live here, which is awesome. Love to see it. I think we could probably squeeze in some row homes along here as well. Yeah, they zoned alright, so I'm just going to kind of leave it like that. And actually, you know what? These blocks can be row homes instead. I think that just about does it. Yeah. That looks quite all right. And this will just be some light industry. Just to kind of even it all out. So that'll be more of an industrial park, if anything. I want to go ahead and I want to try. I knew that was going to happen. I had a feeling when it didn't zone that up. So I guess we're just going to have to break it ourselves. You know what? That's fine. I don't feel like fiddling with it, so that's fine. There we go. Everything's filling up pretty nicely, I'd say. It doesn't look the prettiest, but that's okay. I'm not expecting it to at all. Not one bit. We're definitely going to have another intersection around here eventually, but not right now. I don't think we really need it. Well, let's go ahead and go in to this, and we're just going to kind of make a basic grid for this, because I foresee something in the future about me having to redevelop this area, and I don't want to do that and try and mess around with a new grid. So instead, we're just going to kind of use the games grid around here, and then we're just going to zone in some low density around there. And I think that's pretty good. Oh, we're making around 10 grand an hour, which is, of course, more than I thought. And now our finances are looking a lot more even. See, it's all about slow growth. You know, you see what I'm doing? I place down, I zone in a lot of buildings. I let the cars come in, I let everyone move in, and then I place down some more. I think that is something that a lot of people should definitely be taking advantage of when you play a game like this. Because the last thing you want to do, you don't want to zone in a million homes and then just have everybody move in. It just doesn't work most of the time. It really doesn't. So genuinely, go slow, take your time, and you'll end up with a city that kind of looks like this. And I know, it looks messy right now. And I agree, it definitely does. But I also think that it's necessary, you know? It's necessary for cities to look a little bit messy, at least right now. But we will fix it. We will fix it, don't you worry. Trust me, detailing definitely can be a saving grace with areas like this. And the best part, we have tons of more zones that we can go in and plop down buildings. So I'm going to do this, and we'll be right back with you. Something that I am noticing is this building that we built last episode isn't really working out for us, so I'm actually going to remove this, and we're going to replace it with something a little bit better. All right, so there we go. Now we've removed everything, and I think now we can probably just place down some office buildings here. I don't really see a massive use for it right now, but that's okay. Now let's go ahead and let's place down a proper medical clinic. And I really like the Japanese medical center. So let's go ahead, let's place this down here. And I kind of want to place this in an area where a lot of our community is going to be. So I think right here would be really nice. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I like that. And then we can even upgrade this with an inpatient ward. This doesn't actually add some upgrades, but it's alright. It adds more employees, which is good. And this also has a capacity for 5 vehicles, which is pretty nice. And now it has 100 patient capacity, which is awesome. It's really good. Now, I also, again, just going in with offices. And we can even throw in a park around here. I think that's pretty nice. It's always good to have parks in these areas. Always, always good. Increases the well-being, too. I think this is probably where we could put down some low-rent housing as well. Come to think of it. If I just search up low rent, we should get... some pretty cool looking assets here. Yeah, like these. I really like this color plaza, so I want to place that down. So I think that looks pretty cool. Let's just add in some pedestrian facilities around here. So we can just kind of connect these all up with some pedestrian connections. And this will also just increase our population too. So generally it's just a good idea, at least in my opinion. A bit dystopian, sure, but I think that this definitely looks pretty good, and I like it. I like it, you know? I definitely really like it. I think it just adds a little bit of charm, you know, to have a little bit of connectability. Like, all the houses kind of look the same in this area. And I mean, I guess while we're on the theme of it, I suppose we could probably increase our density around here, because these were sort of placeholder homes. So let's actually do that, because now I got some more ideas for this, because I love these low rent housing buildings. I think they're absolutely stunning. So let's place some of them down, shall we? Let's go with the French pack, and then let's try and design a small layout for another apartment block, similar to that one over there. looks alright. And then we could even put in a small parking alley along here. That's nice. I like that. Again, it's all about, you know, increasing our population by any means necessary, even if it means some unconventional needs, which is, you know, what are you gonna do about it? I think we're actually gonna demolish these, and we're gonna see if we can put down some different buildings here. I think it's super important for us to actually have some connectability around here. So let's try to put down some mailboxes. I definitely want to unlock a couple of extra nodes, and some of these nodes are including at the parks. Park maintenance, large parks, sports parks, and then the large sports parks. This would unlock just about everything that I need in order to create an area in here that feels a little bit more homey, so I definitely want to get some of those. Oh yeah, that looks absolutely beautiful. We have tons of people moving in as well. And I'm not going to be surprised if traffic ends up backing up just a little bit for at least a little while. But we seem to have a huge demand for a lot of homes. So I think it'll be good for us to extend out this now. And we can continue with that awkward grid that I was mentioning beforehand. Trying to think about if I can remember it. Here it was. Oh wait, I think I remember. It's 152 by 120. We're gonna do 136 by 96 here instead. And then every other block will have a connection that'll come in. Have a roundabout there. And we'll connect up this area. Again, those shoreline views, man, they cannot be beat by any way, shape, or form. Still complaining about not enough customers. Well, you're about to get a boatload. Definitely want these to be row homes. Now another problem is definitely garbage. I completely forgot about this. So we're gonna have to go in and place a landfill. And of course we should probably place it here since this is already industrialized and it's nice and flat. This area, from what I remember, has no little deposits for us to fool around with. So I'm gonna actually put that here. I'm gonna put the garbage landfill here. And we're just gonna create a basic circulation for it. Just like that, and then it'll come in like that. I think that's pretty good. And then let's just make sure that this is covering a pretty substantial area. I'll try not to remove as many trees as I can. Since I kind of want to use these for some landscaping in the future. I'd say that's pretty good capacity. I don't think we have to worry about garbage for at least a little while. And here they all come, all of my little garbage trucks. And hopefully garbage should be taken care of now, and I'll increase how many people actually want to live here, which is a good thing. Overall, I'd say that this is pretty successful. This is definitely going pretty well. I'll just zone in that. We actually have some other signature buildings that we could fool around with as well. I think we should probably put these down. But I also kind of want to be careful as well. Probably also put down the park maintenance depot, so then everything can be nice and comfortable. It's beautiful. Our budget is not, though. So let's see like what we're doing here. Surprisingly, we're making money off of water, which I think is kind of funny. I don't think we should increase the service budget of that. Healthcare and death care. Garbage management, we could definitely put this down, at least for a little bit. Fire and rescue, same thing with that. And parks and recreation could definitely go down as well. And communications, we can decrease that by just a little bit. We can get some money in our pocket. I don't want to be dead broke. I'm curious about what's happening. Oh, an accident. Goodness me. I think a lot of these people are moving in, yeah. Most of these people are moving in. So I'm actually going to sit here, and I'm going to wait for a lot of these areas to develop and fill in, because our city is still growing, and I want to make sure that when I zone all of this in, we're not just going to explode. So I'm going to do another sit down, and we're going to let this run for a little bit. Cool, so now we've reached Busy Town, and we've unlocked the Gusto Gelato, which is an artisanal ice creams crafted from the finest local and seasonal ingredients, promising an unforgettable taste experience. We've also unlocked that, a Canopy Cafe as well, and we have unlocked quite a lot here, and let's take a look at what some of these look like. This one kind of looks like a Starbucks. I really like that. And we've also knocked the steakhouse. I completely forgot to place that down. I want to place that down right there. And then we have the lobster tail, which I think we're gonna save a lot of these assets for later. Right now we've got quite a bit of signature buildings that we can fiddle around with. And our taxes are looking even. Finally, we are making more money than commercial, and office is starting to catch up as well, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And I'm really happy about how this came out, about this whole thing came out. And oh my goodness, wow, look at that. That is absolutely crazy how much garbage you managed to pick up from all of our citizens. But anyways, yeah, no, this is really good, really, really good. I think we're being super duper efficient with everything. And we still have quite a bit of people moving in, I think. Destination is Sneaky Ridge. It seems like they're going over to there. Okay, it's good to know. I think that's something that we should definitely be doing right now, is creating some type of public transportation network. And oh my goodness, look at that. We have a fire. Go get them, boys. Oh my goodness, people are actually, okay. So we're gonna do something. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot about that. We're just gonna act like that doesn't happen. Oh, it's because of that. Oh my goodness, really? Goodness gracious. All right, so now hopefully nothing is gonna burn down. Hopefully things will be a little bit smoother. And I also wanna go into these lanes. I wanna remove all the unsafe ones here, and that should clean up things a little bit. Same thing with here as well. And then we're gonna turn this to a 3-lane asymmetrical road. Go to the priorities here, and I want these to have priority. But then this guy has to stop. There we go, that smooths everything out, and then let's just kind of work by here. So let's see, let's check the priorities. Move traffic lights to modify the priority settings, okay. I think this is generally just the morning rush. This is just about what you'd expect from a city that is currently in the process of growing. Yeah, wow. Oh my goodness. We're definitely gonna need some public transportation. I reckon we should honestly just put it here. I think this is a really good place to put it. So let's put down... Yeah, we're making a decent amount of money. We should definitely put down some type of bus depot right here. And then let's get a bus line going around here so we could probably clean up some of our traffic, since traffic is getting absolutely out of hand. So since it's getting so out of hand, we have gone ahead and placed down a bus station, and we're just going to kind of move people from one area to another. So we're going to go in with the, just bus stop sign. Not really a shelter. We don't really have the capacity for that. And we're going to go ahead and kind of just go around these. So I want a bus station here. And we're going to have one go through this community. We're going to kind of have it be every other block. Bus station there. one that's gonna stop at the, because there are people who work here. There are about 30 people, yeah, so I'm sure some people would want to take the bus here as well. And overall, I think that that's pretty good for us to start some type of bus line. I think this is a pretty good connection. I want to make this bicircular too. So I'm just gonna kind of do the same process, but we're gonna work backwards. Alright, so now we have ourselves a nice bus route, and again, I just want to make sure that we are good to go here along our industrial area. There we go, and now let's go ahead and create our first bus line. Now I want this to be, I like a nice teal color, and we're just going to send this around. So this is going to be our, I'd say, inbound route, and I want to try and remember where I started placing these down. So I started the first line here, and then it kind of just went from there. So let's start it out. And we're gonna have this bus go around, and then it'll stop there. Now we've done that, and now we're gonna have this bus go the opposite direction. So this bus is going this way, this one's gonna go this way instead. There we go. Now we have two bus lines that are going in the opposite direction. I want to color this one a different color, just so I know which one it is. And we're gonna make this one purple. And we're gonna assign as little as possible. That seems about right. Seems like a pretty good bus line. And we should make a decent amount of money from that. And I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty set with that, and eventually traffic should die down on here. Another thing that I actually want to do, though, to try and cut back on the bus time. Create a small intersection here. And I think that's good. I think that might be pretty good. At least for the bus's sake. Now, hopefully, we should have some people using the buses here. If we just check them, there should be some people on them. Absolutely, there is, which is good. Now we're going to decrease the budget of transportation to about 70%. Again, save a pretty penny wherever we can. And I think that this is pretty good. Overall, I think that this neighborhood is developing kind of nicely. I think all we really need to do, of course, is just wait until the ground pollution dies down. It seems like it is, at least in most areas, which is really nice to see. And we definitely have something pretty good going for us. In terms of traffic, I'd say we're doing okay. In terms of population, we're definitely growing to be a pretty substantial part of into a city, hopefully, in the near future. We definitely did a lot in this episode. I would say more than what I was actually expecting to do. Like, without a doubt, I was absolutely expecting to do way less in this episode, but we did a lot. We added in this garden area, we developed this whole area, and now our population has nearly tripled, which is really, really insane. And I was not at all expecting that. But now, it's time for just a little bit of detailing, so let's go ahead and do that.